So basically what I'm looking for eventually with this theory is I want it to be a framework for everything. I want everybody to be aware of it in the literal sense. And I don't think that everybody, from what I see, I don't think that everybody is aware of it, because I read these physics textbooks and stuff and it's saying atoms are this, the universe is this, the Big Bang this, and by this I mean singular. We've measured the Big Bang's energy to such and such a degree, such and such a time after or before the Big Bang, all these other things that you see singularly in textbooks, when in theory, in pure theory, or not pure theory if you want to take it that way, there's still an opposite plus neutral potential, and that's what people don't seem to acknowledge, such as people like Stephen Hawking, etc., don't seem to acknowledge or be able to acknowledge that there's still an opposite plus neutral potential to everything, every single statement that a physicist or a textbook or something else could make. And this, yeah, I'm a pedant, okay? I'm a pedant about this, fair play about it, but I see a theory of everything as answering everything at all times, leaving no room for argument whatsoever, at all, so to speak, just to cover myself as I've said, but that's the way I see it, you see. So the reason I say three things at once is because I see, obviously, as I've said a million times before, everything has a negative, positive and neutral potential. So my logic, if you like, is if I provide negative, positive and neutral answers to every single question, then there's nothing more to say. But there also is plus neutral, and it's a loop, but it also isn't plus neutral, and it drives me mad, but it also doesn't plus neutral, ad infinitum basically. So, like I say, the simple reason was I just thought if I provide three things simultaneously, a yes, no, plus neutral answer, then that's that. I've covered every single point that I could possibly cover or could not cover plus neutral. I'm sorry I keep saying plus neutral all the time, which seems really childish and silly and ridiculous. I'm well aware of that in a human sense, but it's just how I am at the moment. I'm not really aware of another way to express myself or communicate this idea to everybody at the current moment. I'm asking for collaboration on my forum, and people have been helping me to try and illustrate this in a different way to what I'm currently able to illustrate it in. Because I think half the problem with this theory is it's lost in translation, because I'm trying to translate the videos in my mind and stuff, and all the things where I can reduce everything down to atoms and see the potentials and everything. I'm trying to convert it into words, and it just comes out as a linguistic argument, which is a bit of a problem. So, but I'm just going to keep trying. That's it. And the reason I wanted to do this anyway, well, I'll get back to the original point. Higher thought, okay. I don't want people to. I've always thought we need a better way. There's got to be a better way somehow than judging people. You know, this person is evil, for example, or even simple things like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, or you won't change so and so. You know, when you hear a person, oh, they're stuck in the ways they are, you won't change them. But people actually believe that you won't change it, but it just takes a lot of effort. It's always possible to change something for the better. It's just that people assume that it's not, singularly, you see. They assume, or seem to assume, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, such and such is impossible. And the thing is, I don't see how anyone can sort of unchangingly suggest that something's impossible or possible, such and such, when there's also an opposite answer and a neutral potential to that answer as well. In theory, in real life, some of the problems I've had debating this as well is the difference between real life and theory. But I don't, like I say, I think I'm in pro-theory mode at the moment, because I can't really see that there's a difference between real life and theory, because that's a singularity. So all I can see at the current moment in time, today, now, is there is a difference between real life and theory, but there's also theoretically not a difference between real life and theory, and neutral, you see. And this way, I feel like I'm covering every possible option, which is important to me really, because a theory of everything, in my own definition that I've sort of made up, I suppose, is a theory that not only answers everything, it also explains and explores every other theory that's ever been invented or ever will be invented. It's very vague, I suppose, in a sense, but the thing is, specifics are a bit like singularities. Any rule is singular, really. Rules are plural, obviously, so if I have 3 rules, negative, positive, neutral, they're not singular, but if I have a singular rule saying this is a theory of everything, or this other theory isn't a theory of everything, then it's a singularity. And then we've got a problem, because it doesn't answer the 3 things at once. So I'm just trying to leave nothing unanswered. So if I had 1, 2, 3 answers, negative, positive, neutral, that's everything answered. Do you see what I mean? That's why the triangle is the strongest shape in the world. Okay? That's why we look at all the joints on your hands, etc., your elbows, everything else. 1, 2, 3 in the middle, the pivot. You see? And there's a beautiful, wonderful symmetry to everything now. I'm reluctant to say I'll explain this later, but I haven't got enough time on this video. I'm up to 7 minutes 30 seconds already, and it's just, as I've said before, the list is literally endless of applications of pro theory and stuff. I think a lot of people understand, but the thing I've noticed more than anything is some people just get it. Some people can just see it, and see it the way I do. I've met categorically a couple of people, probably 3 or 4 people on the internet who actually do understand pro theory in the way that I understand it. But I've met other people who don't understand it, so perhaps, seeing as we've got 3 options, some will understand it, some won't understand it, and some won't encounter it in the slightest, so they'll be neutral in regards to pro theory. I've discovered that perhaps it's time for me to accept that some people just won't be able to get it, won't see this the way that I'd see it, and perhaps by the same token I won't be able to see the arguments of some other people as well.